Hello guys and welcome to round number 2 of the F1 2017 Championship. Today we are at the Bahrain Grand Prix. Today is qualifying obviously, and after a fantastic performance in Australia, I'm sure Barrichello will be hoping to improve his qualifying result. Unfortunately only getting 16th in Australia. But surprisingly, there weren't a lot of point scorers. There are still 5 different teams that have not scored points. Haas and Renault being 2 of them. I'm sure they'll be hoping to improve this weekend. Without further ado, let's have a look at the qualifying result. So Lewis Hamilton takes his second pole of the season, 2 tenths ahead of his teammate Nico Rosberg. It's actually 2 by 2 with the teams. Red Bull's locking out the second row with Ricciardo beating Verstappen. Rubens Barrichello putting in a fantastic performance of 5th place ahead of his teammate Sebastian Vettel. Barrichello the only person that will start on the soft tyre. Then it's the 2 Williams in 7th and 8th, Bottas beating Massa. And finally the McLaren, surprisingly once again both getting through to Q3. So McLaren looking good on qualifying pace, but can they continue it in the race? Hello guys and welcome to race day for the Bahrain Grand Prix. As per usual, there is no rain forecast as you'd expect, and it's Lewis Hamilton that takes his second pole of the season. Will he be able to convert it to the win this time? So after qualifying in the top 10 in Australia, Daniel Kvyat is very far down the grid, losing out to the Haas cars and one of the Renaults. So he'll be hoping to make up some ground. It looks like he's starting on a medium tyre, so he's hoping for a long stint at the start. Sergio Perez is another one to watch out for, starting very far down the grid. Very uncharacteristic of the Force India car. We know it's quick, but it's really not showing the pace here in Bahrain on Saturday. Will they be able to fight through the field and make it into the top 10? So as the Silver Arrows line up on the grid, Hamilton first, Nico Rosberg second. He couldn't do it in Australia, but can Hamilton convert his pole position into a race win in Bahrain? Let's find out. So we have 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights, and it's lights out and away we go. And that's a brilliant start from Max Verstappen. Ricciardo getting off the line poorly. Barrichello goes round outside and straight up into 3rd place. On the outside of Nico Rosberg. Hamilton getting a very good start just to pull away. Rosberg on the inside of Barrichello. There's no contact. Can Barrichello hold it? Yes, he can. Up the inside and straight up into 2nd place. Out of turn 2. A fantastic start from the Brazilian once again. Now on the next lap, Barrichello chasing down Hamilton. He doesn't go up the inside into the penultimate corner. Can he get a good run out of the final corner? He won't have DRS, but he will have slipstream, getting a little bit shaky on the exit. He still sits in the slipstream of Hamilton though. He sets fast lap of the race, so he is absolutely flying on a soft tyre. He moves to the inside and overtakes Lewis Hamilton for the race lead. Hamilton trying to hold it on the outside very late on the brakes, and it looks like he may have done it. He's got the inside line for turn 2. Can Barrichello get the cutback? He's trying it, and it looks like it's worked for him. He's going to try on the outside of Lewis Hamilton at turn 3. He may even take him before the corner, and it looks like he has. Into turn 3, Barrichello leads, heading into sector 2. On the next lap now, Barrichello and Hamilton's pulling away from the field. They're both very, very quick. And Barrichello clips the outside curb and loses the back end. And Hamilton very nearly takes him out, but does take back first. And that's very disappointing for Barrichello as he's got DRS on Hamilton now on lap 4. These guys are changing every single lap. Barrichello moves to the inside, takes Hamilton up the inside. Hamilton once again trying to hold it round the outside on the braking. Very confident on the brakes into turn 1. It looks like maybe this time Hamilton has done it. Can Barrichello get back him into turn 3 in the slipstream? Moving to the inside, very close to the rear of Hamilton's car. Up the inside to turn 3, that's side by side. This is fantastic racing from the 2 drivers. And it looks like Barrichello's got the edge on Hamilton. Back up into 1st place. Coming to the end of lap 5 now, Barrichello leads from Lewis Hamilton. And the safety car has been deployed. I'm not actually too sure why. I don't think there was a retirement. It looks like Barrichello is going to make the decision to come into the pit. And I think Hamilton is going to follow him in. So it's a battle of Mercedes and Ferrari for the pit stop. Who will get out in first? Will Hamilton be able to jump? Barrichello goes onto the medium tyre. What tyres does Hamilton go onto? He goes onto the super soft tyre. Which that really does confirm it as for 3-stop. That is really not a smart decision from Mercedes. But it looks like under safety car conditions, Barrichello is going to rejoin in 3rd place behind Nico Hülkenberg and Nico Rosberg. Obviously both cars need to pit. So Barrichello is net P1 as it stands. Coming to the end of lap 6 now, still under safety car conditions, Nico Rosberg and Nico Hülkenberg both pull into the pit. Under safety car conditions, a lap later, that's a really bad decision from both teams there. They're really going to drop to the back of the pack, maybe even last place. But Barrichello retakes the lead of the race. On lap 8 now, the safety car is coming in. We've got Carlos Sainz staying out on the soft tyre. He is yet to make a pit stop, but he's in P2. He's doing a fantastic job. The safety car has come in and it's looking like a very clean restart for Barrichello. Pulling away, obviously he's got Sainz to hold up Hamilton for him. But Hamilton, I'm sure, is going to race no time on the super soft tyre. He's going to be absolutely flying. But he will have to make 2 more stops. He will not make a 2-stop work. But it looks like Barrichello's got away cleanly and he has pulled a lead on Hamilton. How long can he hold on to that lead though? Hamilton is going to be very quick on super soft tyre. Just a couple corners later, Barrichello is really struggling. Hamilton is absolutely flying already on super soft tyre. Barrichello getting a very poor exit. Hamilton, is he going to have a look at the inside into the next corner? It looks like he's going to. He's already got his car up the inside. Barrichello going to try and hold it around the outside. He gets very close to Hamilton, loses the rear mid-corner and has to concede the position to Hamilton. Hamilton retakes first, but he will have an extra pit stop compared to Barrichello. And all Barrichello can do now is just try and stay with Hamilton, try and minimise that gap until he pits again. And just a couple laps later, that is exactly what happened. Hamilton goes into the pit for his second stop. I'm not sure he'll be able to make it to the end on the medium tyres. Have a look at the top left. Let's see what tyres he goes on to. He goes on to the soft tyre, so he will definitely have to pit again. He is definitely on a 3-stop. But Barrichello, for now, retakes the lead of the race with Verstappen second. On to lap 17 now. Barrichello's been all alone in first place. Coming in for his final stop. And I think he will fit the soft tyre. I think he'll be able to make it to the end. It may be a bit marginal, but he does indeed fit the soft tyre. Perez has now moved himself under second, so he's absolutely flying this race. He could be on for some very decent points. Barrichello, you can see the lead he has. It looks like he will get out in second place. Hamilton in second on the soft tyre, but he will have to pit again. And with that gap, it's looking very, very good for Barrichello. The only question remains, will Barrichello be able to hold on to his tyres until the end of the race? On to lap 19 now. 10 laps to go as we cross the start-finish straight. Hamilton is in the pit for the third and final time. And he pits the medium tyre to the end, which I'm guessing is because he hasn't got any soft tyres left. That's a very, very weird decision for Mercedes once again. On to lap 21 now, and Esteban Gutierrez has retired from the race. Hopefully there won't be a safety car as Barrichello's got a really big lead on Verstappen and will be hoping to hold on to that lead. The Ferrari driver really having to drive cautious to save his tyres. He can't push at all. He needs to hold on to this tyre wear. And on to lap 27, you can see the tyre wear is looking bad. Barrichello is really having to nurse these tyres. Hamilton has moved himself back up into second place. Verstappen in third on the super soft tyre. Both those cars are able to push and are absolutely flying. But you can see with 2 laps to go, Barrichello is really having to nurse these tyres. He is really not going quick. He's almost 3 seconds off the pace. You can see Barrichello's pit crew calling him in for a set of super soft tyres. But if Barrichello pits at this stage, he will lose the lead and the race win. He is converted to a 2-stop at this stage with just almost 1.5 laps to go. Barrichello really struggling. You can see just how slow the gap is coming down to Lewis Hamilton. This race is not over at all. On to the final lap. You can see Hamilton is right there. He is chasing down Barrichello. Can Hamilton get his first win of the season from a second pole position? You can see just how slow Barrichello is having to go through the corner. Careful not to lock up. Can he make it to the end? He's just got a couple corners to go. 1 sector. Will his tyres hold on? He's having to go so slow around the corners. Careful not to lock up. Careful not to just spin the tyres. Now coming into the third sector, Hamilton is pushing like crazy. You can see the gap is down to 1.5 seconds as we come down the straight. Is Hamilton in slipstream range? I don't think he is. But he's able to push round the final corner. Will he get a better exit than him? I think he's too far back. Round the final corner we go. Barrichello missing the apex by an absolute mile. But out of the final corner, where is Hamilton? He is right behind Barrichello, but Barrichello's going to hold on to win his first race of his comeback. First place for the Brazilian from 5th on the grid. The 2-stop was the way to go. He really had to nurse those tyres at the end. It was very, very difficult for him. But there you can see, it's been a long time since we've seen that. Barrichello on the top step of the podium, beating Hamilton, beating Verstappen, beating absolutely everyone. And Barrichello is a race winner in 2017. Now let's have a look at the race results. Barrichello taking the race win for Ferrari. An absolutely fantastic drive, nursing the tyres when he needed to. A brilliant pit stop, and he takes the race win, well deserved. Hamilton just 2 tenths behind him. He tried his best, but once again missed out on the race win from pole position. Verstappen takes the final podium spot, with Vettel just missing out in 4th. Daniel Ricciardo in 5th, with Sergio Perez, a fantastic recovery drive from him, in 6th place. Nico Rosberg, a very disappointing 7th, despite taking the race win in Australia. Alonso takes 8th, Nico Hülkenberg 9th, and Valtteri Bottas takes the final point for Williams. So it looks like Barrichello may actually be able to challenge for this championship after all. But I'm sure Hamilton will once again be frustrated, once again missing out on the race win. But let's have a look what that has done to the drivers' standings. Lewis Hamilton, with 2 second place finishes to his name, takes the lead on 36 points, with Rosberg dropping down to 31 points in 2nd place. Barrichello moves himself up to 3rd place, with also on 31 points, so joint with Nico Rosberg. Ricciardo sits in 4th, with Sebastian Vettel 1 point behind him, and Verstappen 1 point behind Vettel. Sergio Perez should be happy sitting in 7th place, ahead of both Williams cars and both McLarens. Massa, after a fantastic drive in Australia, is actually ahead of his teammate Valtteri Bottas on 10 points. He sits in 8th place, with Fernando Alonso in 9th with 5 points. And finally Nico Hülkenberg in 10th place with 4 points to his name. Now let's have a look at the constructor standings. No surprise here, Mercedes lead with 67 points, Ferrari in 2nd with 55. Actually a lot closer to the Mercedes than was expected. The Red Bulls remaining competitive, but need to stay with Ferrari to challenge Mercedes. Force India an impressive 4th place with 16 points to their name. Williams sit in 5th with 11 points. And McLaren Honda with 5 points sit in 6th place. I'm sure they'll be very happy with that. With likes of Toro Rosso, Sauber, Manor, Renault and Haas all not scoring points in the first 2 races. Well guys, that is round 2 of the F1 2017 Championship. If you did enjoy, remember to smash the like button and subscribe if you're new around here. The response on the last video was absolutely insane, so thank you guys for that. I'll be hoping to get these videos out as quickly as possible. But as always guys, thank you guys for watching, and see ya!